Peace, Islam. Islam, everybody. I'm just gonna speak quickly on nationality, on some of the things that the Prophet set up, why it works, how it works, what we're supposed to do, and what not to do, what to do, which is most important, but also what not to do, so that not wasting time getting caught up. A lot of the things that you see, people are getting caught up in. Some of the information is floating around, conflicting ideas and things like that. And look, first off, I'm going to say there's nothing wrong with people philosophizing about things, how should go about doing things. That's fine. Okay. It's even all right if we don't all agree. That's fine, because you never know what might work. Okay. But we still have to move forward from where we're at. Like, for example, say somebody is saying, oh, we have all this land that he left for us in a trust, or something like that. And they're waiting on everybody to move on that. So everyone's just waiting for this to magically happen, for us to be given to us. But nobody's making any progress. And people are debating. And some people's like, man, yo, I don't see it. It's not even real. And then others, they're like, well, we need to get this. We need to file the paperwork. We need to do whatever we need to do to get that. Right? That's not how you move. What you do is you still do the practical things as necessary. You do the same things the Prophet was doing, started businesses, buying land. If you don't know how to get it for free, that don't mean you wait and say, well, we can't buy land because if we buy it, we don't really own it. No, dude, you work from where you're at right now. Physically, what you know that you can purchase property. Okay, you can get the deed to it. You can buy another one. You can pretty soon own the whole block. So you got a whole Moorish block and you can set up businesses in there. You have a whole little shopping center. You can put a grocery store in there. You got a whole little Moorish owned shopping center. That's a realistic thing that can be done in every neighborhood. And then before you know it, you start buying more and more blocks. And then those same hoods that they will be coming in and gentrifying, you're doing it yourself. And now more of your people seeing you doing it. So more people are coming towards the temple, coming towards the Moorish nationality, and it grows from there. But that's something that's realistic. You don't wait. You don't wait and say, well, we can't do that because, such and such said that if we buy it, we don't really own it. You can't do that. You work from where you're at. And then later on down the road, if you're able to take advantage of some of the other things that people are talking about, fine, cool. But you don't get hung up on that, You don't get hung up on that stuff because it's not going to get you anywhere. It's just like people, you hear some people say, oh, we're not U.S. citizens. We're American citizens. Or we're not citizens, period. We can't ever be citizens. You hear people saying this stuff, and like, hey, look, man, maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe not. Maybe everybody need to just chill out. The Prophet said we're American citizens. The Prophet said we're citizens of the U.S.A. All right. And you need to just move like that. And I'll tell you why. Because if any one of these people travels, they go out of the country for real, and they're not lying and fronting and trying to pretend and tell you that they're traveling on some special diplomatic passport or something made up like that. For real, if they're traveling and they're like the most of us, where they were born here and raised here, they have a regular U.S. passport. Okay? And I know this because I've actually been somewhere before. And when you look in there on nationality, it says United States of America, U.S.A. Because that's their nationality. They're U.S. citizens. All right? And so that might be confusing because maybe like your favorite teacher or somebody that you like that speaks, it sounds like you know what they're talking about, is saying the opposite. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like even some of the people saying that, I can still be cool with them, and disagree on that. Because it doesn't matter. Because it's like, bro, I'm leaving the country. I know what it says on there. It says nationality U.S.A. This is a U.S. passport and you are a U.S. citizen. And while other people are saying this stuff and they not even going anywhere, you traveling, You go into the Caribbean, South America, Africa, wherever you want to go to, and you got a U.S. passport just like everyone else says you're a U.S. citizen. But the other people not going anywhere, and they're saying this and debating and philosophizing over this stuff. And I'm like, look, that doesn't even matter. You move from where you're at right now, okay? Like, just being real, what the prophet brought, and this hopefully this is simple and everybody understands this, okay? Plain and simple is African Americans. Okay, many of us understand already this is a creation. This is just an update on the label that's been placed on us. The prophet said they stuck the Negro black colored label on us in 1779. This label what? Alludes to slavery. Okay, and then when you look even into the ethnic racial classifications, the SF 181, now you see that it says, for every other ethnic category, they're connected to an original group of people, an original tribe, an original family of people. Doesn't matter if it's the fake white classification, Asian, Pacific Islander, whatever. They're all cool, except for African American black. That's just connected to some people from Africa. They're not an original people. Okay, because this is a classification. This, for real, it just validates what the prophet said, that this was a slave label, a label deluding to slavery. This is just a label to keep you at the bottom of the class system. Okay, and so it's dumb to continue to go under this if you know better. Knowing better, we know that, hey, this is one of the reasons why the struggle is so hard. Why it's so hard, where there's some people, some quote unquote black people that can come up, they can rise above this stuff. But for the most part, they have something to keep a huge amount of these people, still struggling and suffering, right? So this was a caste system created to keep these people at the bottom. And that's why you no longer go along with that. That's why the prophet deemed us a nation, created a society for us. Within the Moorish divine and national movement, he created a society for us with a government structure, right? Because real people, original people, have a government. There was something I was just looking at the other day with the Cherokee. Somebody shared it in the group. Peace. If you're not in the group, go on Facebook, Moorish America group. But with the Cherokee and Islam to Brother T. Matheno Matthew Zell, I believe he shared that. So the Cherokee, basically, they're one of the leaders within their government structure was given honorary status as like a representative within the U.S. government. Okay, and there was an expert on tribal studies who's like a professor who was writing on that in the article, and he or she was saying how more than likely it's just something on face value. It's just for a show appearance, because they're going to be just like American Samoa, U.S. Guam territory, Puerto Rico, Washington, D.C., where they don't get to vote. They don't actually get to put their play in, okay, in the making of laws, right? It's just a territory, okay? And, but it's a step forward for them. But the reason I was sharing this is because, like, okay, the Cherokee, it was saying in there, I think that there's like 600,000 of them or something like that. The thing is, they have a government structure. Everyone has to have one. It doesn't matter if it's tribes in the Amazon. They have their own Secretary of State. They all have their own governing, whatever they call them, whether they call them the chief, and this is the high chief. They have their own government structure. They all do. They have to. Okay, it doesn't matter what tribe it is, whether they're from in the continent of Africa. It could be Aboriginal tribes in Australia. It doesn't matter where they're from. China, Japan, doesn't matter. They all have a governing structure, a body to govern themselves. Palestinians, everyone. Okay, and so black people didn't. Negroes didn't. They don't have any governing structure. They don't have anything to govern themselves. And so that's what was created. And that's why it's important. That's why the Moorish Divine and National Movement, the Moorish Science Temple of America, all that's important. That's why. All right. It wasn't about saying, we're not U.S. citizens, we blah, blah. No, look, man, if you want to get to that point, maybe that's a route to go in the future. But right now, no. What the prophet created, why it says I'm a citizen of the U.S.A., this is why. It's like, okay, we're not trying to withdraw ourselves from, we're coming back under the constitutional fold. And in addition to that, like, look, we're not those creations that you made, this legal definition that you boxed us into that doesn't have any origin anywhere. It's just something that you created in 1779 so that you could manipulate and control. We're not that anymore. We know who we are. And this is our governing structure. And it's just like how the Cherokee can have their own leadership and structure here within the United States of America. We can too. And everyone does, right? Everyone does. And so it's like, yeah, we are tied in to an original group of people. And this is who we are. And this is our structure. And you grow from there. You know, you have things that look out for you and your people, your communities, you know, making sure that you're protected, that you have the things that you need, right? Because nobody else is going to do that for you. Obviously, that's what's been shown over all this time. And so that's what it's about. You know, we need our own grocery stores, our own chains, our own, banks and all this stuff, right?
Stateless people.
And so you create that. And yeah, for now, you're moving as U.S. citizens. Because there's no debate over it's American citizen or U.S. citizen. If you go anywhere, okay, you're going to get a U.S. passport just like everyone else. And its nationality is going to say United States of America. It's going to say U.S.A. Just like on the nationality card, I'm a citizen of the U.S.A. So some people say that stands for unity, salvation, Allah. Like, get out of here with that mess. So on my U.S. passport where it says nationality U.S.A., you trying to tell me that stands for unity, salvation, Allah? It's like, see, that makes no sense. Get out of here. The prophet was saying you're a citizen of the United States of America. And if people want to debate about that or want to act silly and goofy about that, like, get out of here, that he just said the prophet. It's like, bro, fine. You could be stuck on goofiness, stuck on stupid. But I'm not going to waste time on that. This is how the prophet came. This is how he wanted us to move. He just established this. He reconnected us to an original people because we were out here, like my wife just said, stateless. And every people has to have a governing structure, tribal government, whatever. Doesn't matter. Sheiks are chiefs. That's what you have to have. You have to have that structure set up, right? Because we're claiming to be an original people. And we're not claiming to be from like China or somewhere else. So we're trying to connect ourselves to the Chinese government. No, we're from right here. So we have our governing structure right here. In each and every state, there's supposed to be temples. There's supposed to be this structure. And then we have a central government. All right, because we're from here, just like how the Cherokee are from here, and they're not all just in one state. They're all over the place, right? They have reservations. They have people that live in regular cities that are actually tribal members, card carrying members of their tribe. So they're all over because they're claiming to be from here. And then they actually have their own governing structure. And they have members who don't even care about their stuff. They're card carrying members, but they don't care. They don't know their governing structure and how it works, but they're members, right? But then you have members within the Cherokee tribe, I'm just keep using that know their structure. There's ones that are a part of their structure. They're on the governing boards. There's ones that have their own boards together and they're getting money for casinos and stuff like that, right? It's real. And they're not all over somewhere. They're all over the United States. They're in different states and territories, right? And that was just an example. And it's like, we're the same way. We're from here. We are all over the place. But that doesn't mean we have to be discombobulated and split up and having no structure like it's been for the last, 200 some years, right? No, we have the structure. We know who we are, our society, and we govern ourselves. And so we don't need anyone to pick and choose like what. Well, this is they're discussing right now. They're acting like one of the issues for the presidency 2020 is reparations. And so they're actually talking about how much money they're gonna give, and they're throwing out lowball numbers like a couple billion, which is nothing, right? Even $1 trillion is nothing. That's not enough. But they're throwing out lowball numbers like that, right? Because who else is gonna discuss it?
The Moors.
The Moors? I mean, like who else is gonna discuss it? Are we governing ourselves? No. As quote unquote black people, as quote unquote online Moors, because a lot of us are just, well, I'm not even gonna say us, because I've already like done what I'm supposed to do, but I'm saying a lot of the people are just Moors online. It's just a plaything for you. And that's why it is important to actually like stop being scared or nervous or being pushed away from it for whatever reasons. Go ahead and take the plunge and become an actual member of the society that Prophet Noble Drew Ali created. Like a Cherokee, become a card-carrying member of the tribe. Even if you're not going to become part of the government, decision maker. Become a member of the tribe, or you just playing with it. You're just playing with it online because it's work to do, and it's discombobulated and all over the place. And it's been like this for a long enough time for you to see that don't work. Like, hey, just saying I'm here or just getting my paperwork from this company, this publication people and stuff, that's not good enough, right? Just messing with such and such online and calling yourself whatever you do online, that's not good enough. You need to become a member because these people didn't create a society. Prophet Noble Drew Ali actually went and did the work. Because one of the things with government, like, because people can say, oh, the U.S. is a corporation. You know what? So is Russia. So is Brazil. So is Botswana. So is Algeria. All of these people, you can sit and say they're all corporations because on one end, you have to state your intent and make it be known, and they do it on paper, right? Because you have to have a clear intent. You have to have transparency. Like, look, this is how we're organizing. This is what we're organizing as. This is how we're moving. We're moving as the state of Rwanda. We're moving as the state of Texas, the state of, such and such. We're moving as this republic, right? So all of that has to be structured and shown what you plan to do, how you plan to govern yourselves, right? And so people will look and be like, oh, that's a corporation. Okay, fine. On paper it is, but it's not just on paper. In real life, they have an actual navy. They have people ready to die for that country. It's real. It's real in the minds of millions of people, maybe even billions of people, right? Like the United States is not simply just a corporation on paper, bro. Everywhere you go in the world, pretty much, they're going to accept, U.S. dollars, right? Because in the minds of all these people, they're real. They carry some weight. Okay. And so if you're coming from Kenya or somewhere else like this, like, yeah, on paper, it's a corporation, but no, it's not, bro. It's a nation. Right. And so you could be like, oh, the Moorish Temple of America. Guess what? The prophet went through and did the same thing they did. OK, he stated the intent, what we're doing and how we're structured. We have a Supreme Grand Sheik, we have a Supreme Grand Treasurer, we have a Supreme Grand Council, then we have, sheiks, chiefs, whatever you want to call it. We have all of this structure. This is how we're set up. We govern ourselves because you have to state the intent and make it plain and clear so that people can see, okay, that's who they are. This is how they're moving, right? And you can say, oh, that's a corporation. Yeah, on paper. But if we're actually doing it and taking it seriously, it's not. We're also a nation. We're real people. We're no longer Negro, black, and colored. But if you're just online looking at all this different stuff and want to debate over things and ponder over things that don't really matter, Like with, such and such said we're citizens of America, and that's different than being citizen of the USA. If that's cool, that's cool. But if you want to ponder on that and not actually move, then you're not actually getting anything done. We could ponder over that stuff forever. Hey, maybe there's even some truth to that. But guess what? As the prophet structured it and set it up, that's not getting us anywhere. What is getting you somewhere, become a part of the society that's established, that's been stated for the public record, okay, in Cook County, that, hey, this is their society. This is for Moorish Americans. We govern ourselves. Okay? Just like these Cherokee can govern themselves, and we know most of them now, pale skin, but whatever. Just how everyone else can govern themselves within these United States. We can too. All right? And so that's what it's about. And so I say this one last time before I drop off of this. It's just that, it's okay. It's cool. I'm not trying to down anyone, ponder over these things. Think about it, but don't be stuck. Think about it, but still move in reality, still travel. Don't not travel and go anywhere because you don't know what to do. Like, bro, if you from here like me, you get a U.S. passport just like everyone else. And you'll see on there for nationality, it says U.S.A.
And it's so sad to see these Moors doing all this stupid paperwork and not being able to travel because their documents isn't legitimate. And it's like not being able to travel and see your people all over the world and see cultures and speak different languages and just witness this stuff is a tragedy. It's a shame. It's sad because we're supposed to be able to travel all over this world.
Yeah, and you can't really take advice from people who've never been anywhere anyway. But I'm just sharing that to say, like, it's simple. All right, that's pretty much that's what it is. Okay, you're citizens of the USA, and no, that's not unity, salvation, Allah. Looking at the passport, it says nationalidad, nationality, United States of America, right? That's what it says on the passport. Not making this up. USA, United States of America. Same thing it says on the nationality card. I am a citizen of the USA. And people can say it stands for unity, salvation, light. But that's just talk, and that's keeping you stuck. You want to sit and say that and not do anything and not go anywhere? Or do you want to make moves and be realistic and get it done right here from where you're at? Then if you wanted to stand for that in the future, make it mean that. You have to make it mean that. Because there's hundreds of millions of people who know that that's not what it stands for. Matter of fact, there's billions. But within this country, there's 300 million people, and the majority of them say it stands for United States of America, okay? And thoughts are things, okay? And so you have all that power behind United States of America. You wanted to make it mean unity, salvation, life. It's going to take some time for that to happen. You can't just ponder over that and I'm not going to move because, I'm not doing it because they got it wrong. This what it means. Like, nah, it don't mean that, okay? So hopefully that makes some sense to some people, all right? Yeah, one thing, though, I wanted to say about that one more time with our society that the prophet created for us. It only works if you work, right? It only works if you work. It only works if you recognize it. You can't have 20 different Supreme Grand Sheiks. Supreme Grand Sheik has no power, no weight. The Supreme Grand Treasurer, you can't have 20 of them. You can't have, it's just like with the United States, there's a president, vice president, secretary of state, all these different things. And you have each states have their own governor, their own senators and congressmen and things like that. And it's structured and set up. But if you got these people over here who's like, well, no, we don't recognize him. This is our real president. As soon as things like that happen, there is no more United States, right? It doesn't work and it doesn't carry any weight and it's not powerful, and other countries, nations aren't going to recognize it either, right? And so like that's the importance. Like you can't be just online mulling about this stuff, thinking about it. I might mess with it. Nah, I don't think it's legit. Like the Moorish Science Temple of America, the society, the things that we have, it means nothing. And you declaring your nationality, getting your own proclamation, doing your thing by yourself carries no weight, right? Me joining the temple or her joining the temple and doing it that way carries no weight if we don't move as a unit, if we don't recognize and understand our own governing body and make it real. We have to work. We have to make it real. We can't be on the outside doing our own thing. This is why the prophet said your only salvation is coming through the Moorish Science Temple of America. He didn't say, you could go off and do your thing as a Washita or as a subset, or you could do your own thing over there too, and you could have your own more scientific. He didn't say that. He didn't say you could just get your paperwork from RV Bay and do your own thing. He didn't say that because he established a society, and it carries no weight if we don't move and work and make it real, right? We can't mull and ponder about this stuff any longer. You can't just be sitting on the fence online, and online you might be super duper Ra El Bay, whatever, but in real life you just still Steve. It carries no weight. You have to be Steve, and whatever our rules and structure are, you need to respect it. Because that's the only thing that makes it real. So if within our society you can't be Steve Ra'el Ali Day something, you have to pick and choose. Look, you're Bay, you're L. Then you need to do that, or else it carries no weight. If we have a structure and a way of doing things, you know what I'm saying? You have to go by that. If we have a governing body, you have to respect that. Maybe you have a calling to take part in that, but you got to do these things or it carries no weight. So we can't have a million Steves and Leroys and whatever running around there and nobody's actually doing this in real life, or everybody's trying to do their own thing. Okay, it's not going to work. All right, and I don't care what anyone said about you doing things individually, it carries no weight. There's some things we got to do, even if it's just a small group of us. May just be a couple thousand of us who actually move and do what we need to do. But that's the only way it carries weight. Because like I was saying in that article, they said there's only like 600, 700,000 Cherokee, that's actually registered within their government. Okay? So it don't have to be all of us. Some just ain't going to come with it. And oh well. But you have to move. You can't just be playing around here and asking these questions. Some of those questions aren't really that important. People will be like, oh, part and parcel, part and partial. And it's like, dude, look, get out here and work. That ain't important. Are we U.S. citizens? Are we American citizens? We're not citizens at all. It's like, okay, yeah, let's talk about that on the side. But it's not as important as actually building, getting these businesses, securing our neighborhoods and properties, and understanding our governing body and moving that way. All right? That's what's important. All right? And we don't even all have to agree to understand and know that that's important. So, on that note, peace. Make sure you like and share this. It's just some real talk. Peace.